Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing?
Excellent.
Good. Fire away. Who wants to go first?
How was practice today after you said yesterday was a recovery day? How was today getting back in with the guys and the mood and whatnot?
I mean, it was good. It was a little edgy, you might expect, right? It was there was some good intensity there. It was not a lot of dead time,
Okay.
so we worked pretty long and worked pretty hard, and the minutes we were out there were used very well. Moving into one thing to the next, lots of reps of the same thing, all that kind of stuff.
I'm assuming you like it edgy like this. I mean, or
It's
after
got to be.
yeah.
It's got to be right now.
Nick, as you guys try to catch a rhythm and get on the other end of this, who has been just the biggest voices in the locker room trying to rally the troops outside of the coaching staff? Have there been guys kind of just stepping up?
Well, I think that we obviously have some veteran players. I think that you got Kyle, you got Joel, you got Paul, you got even some other guys, Eric and Reggie. But we obviously, I know Kyle well. Joel and I obviously been together now. I'd probably say those two guys, Kyle and Joel, are trying to making sure that guys understand what they're doing and making sure they're getting things ironed out. If there's any questions about anything, they need further explanation. They need more detail, whatever it is, that kind of stuff. But again, there's a lot of things like some of the stuff we're not doing well enough, but a lot of it comes down to just physically being able to or physically doing it versus that we're. You guys have heard me for a few games now talk about I'm happy where the schemes are coming, like we're executing the schemes pretty well, but some of the just individual physicality and some of that kind of stuff is, the schemes and all that stuff isn't going to matter much. So just kind of talking a lot about all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, you told them that the other night was more of an outlier. No, because
Yes.
those
Yes.
two games that you pointed out,
Yes.
it's just so mentally they go into it
Yeah.
tomorrow night knowing that what they
Yeah.
showed the other night is not who they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a little bit of that we got to take into consideration, right? We are certainly trying to. I mean, even before we hit the floor the other night, I did say, like, listen, this group that's played together here, you guys have played two really good ones in a row, right? Let's keep it going. Obviously, it was for whatever reason we hit a pothole, right? We hit a pothole, and you're right. Got to keep on driving, right? Still got to keep on driving, and you're right, deliver that message. But again, I think the things that we built schematically and chemistry and all that kind of stuff got hit a little bit with some physicality and energy or whatever the other night, and that's where I kind of went back to today. Like, again, the schemes you guys are getting there, man. I'm seeing a lot of progress there, but again, we got to be able to handle standing in there and making a play a little bit more.
Towards the top of opponent scouting.
Yep.
What are you guys trying to teach about the variety of defenses,
Yeah.
Tennessee, all that type of stuff?
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about the defensive stuff before. That just continues to get repped. It continued, and it's like teaching, right? We show them the game film. We go through the drill work. He's got to take some of that to the next game to start stacking and building, and then you kind of just keep doing that. The key is, does he see it? Does he understand it? Can he get on court to do it? And then can he take it to the next? How soon can he take it to the next game? Right. That to me is like trying to speed up the process, or that's how the process needs to be sped up by us, the coaching staff. And then the other side of the ball. Listen, he's getting into the paint. He's shooting. He's scoring. Like we gotta make sure he's making the right play. Right. I keep saying after those games, he's got 10 assists. He got 5 assists. He's got 15 assists over 2 games. Like that's what happens now that he gets to the top of the scouting report. Like you're saying, like you're gonna draw multiple defenders. You gotta make the right play, and that again is a little bit of here's the film. could have hit that one, could have hit that one, could have hit that one. Like, and then can we start building on that number and improve him as an overall player, improve him as an overall member of our team.
Nick, without Joel, Paul, and Kyle for tomorrow night, what's the message to the team just to kind of keep the level of fight necessary to remain competitive?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not backing off that you got to go out and fight. Like, came into practice today. It was edgy, it was physical, it was competitive. It's kind of how we're going to be, right? I think you got to set that tone and kind of maintain that tone when we're here to work. We're here to work. That usually translates to the games at night. Yep.
Nick, not to blame things on bad luck, but like when you shoot, you guys have been shooting like 25% on open threes this season, right? How do you untangle that from what you need to fix? Like, how do you not go overboard trying to fix something that maybe will just correct itself, I guess?
Well, I think that it's a tricky one. Makes it a you know, it's a good question because you kind of look at things, a lot of things like, hey man, we aren't rebounding well enough. That's not just going to fix itself by kind of letting go and sitting back, is it? You gotta show the clips, and you gotta start blocking out, and you gotta start doing some drills, and you gotta start coming up with something, right? Missing wide open shots, that might fall into another category, like you're talking about. I think we do analyze it, look at it, make sure it's not just oh man, it'll straighten itself out. No problem. I think you gotta give it more than that. You know, you gotta give more like we're studying, we're analyzing, we're trying to do some stuff in player development, we're trying to do some stuff in practice, right? To try to turn the tide, but that one's kind of a gray area a little bit, I think. Yep. That's it. All right, thanks everybody.